All right, rational number operation review. So taking everything we've learned about rational number operation, reviewing it, and then applying it as part of the week this week. Learning target, you will be able to review all operations with rational numbers. So that means add, subtract, multiply, and divide. So here we go, our addition rules. Here are the same pictures that we've seen back in Module 1. When the signs are the same, we just add. When the signs are different, we have to just think about how much do we have, or rather, do we have more positives or negatives? That's the sign of the answer, and then subtract. So for example, here we have an example of when the signs are different. So we have more positives with the 6 than we do with the negatives, which is 3. And then the difference between them is 3. Now, when the signs are the same, we just add like normal. And then let me add just one more example of different signs. So if we have -4 plus 3, then in this case, we have more negatives than we do positives. So my answer will be negative. And then the difference between them, because those 0 pairs cancel out, I would have 1 negative left over. Connecting this to subtraction. Subtraction is just the same as adding the inverse. So what I want to do is I can think about this modeling it on a number line. I can think about it in a real world context, or I can just simply apply this idea of adding the inverse to these problems. So the first one, -3 minus 4, is the same as saying -3 plus the inverse, so the opposite of 4 is -4. And then that would be -7 because I would apply the addition rules at that point. Next one, 7 minus -12. Well, I start with 7. It's the same as adding the opposite of that second number. So the opposite of -12 is 12. And then simplifying that more, I would have 19. Remember, when these two negative signs are side by side, it turns it to a positive. Next up, -10 minus -6. So -10 plus opposite of -6, 6. What do I have more of? I have more negatives. And the difference between these, because the signs are different, is 4. And then finally, 13 take away 20. Well, the order of subtraction matters. I can't just reverse that around. If I have a smaller amount to start with and I'm asked to take away more than what I have, I'm going to end up negative. And this would be -7. If I were to write it out using the inverse, additive or inverse, it'd be the same as this idea. And so I have more negatives, and the difference between them is 7. Multiplication. So when the signs are the same, we get a positive product. When the signs are different, we get a negative product. So an example of this one would be 2 times 3 equals 6. A -2 times a -3 equals +6. When the signs are different, so if I have 4 times a -5, I get a -20. And if I were to just reverse that around, as far as the factors go, I'd also get a -20. Cool. And then division. The rules are the same, right? Because they are connected to multiplication. So a positive divided by a positive is a positive, and we've known that for quite a while. A negative divided by a negative also equals a positive quotient. A negative divided by a positive equals a negative quotient. And the other way around, I'll just do positive 15 divided by a negative 5 equals a negative 3. The division process doesn't change. It's just a matter of remembering the rules. And there you go.